Following his recently released new album and Olivia Wilde's upcoming thriller, Don't Worry Darling, Harry Styles is all set to appear in the titular role in the new British romantic drama, My Policeman. The plot follows Tom, a gay policeman in 1950s Brighton who marries a school teacher, Marion, while simultaneously being in a relationship with a museum curator, Patrick. Their secrets are threatening and can ruin the lives of everyone involved. The period film is based on the eponymous novel by Beth and Roberts published in 2012 and is directed by theater director, Michael Grandage. The screenplay comes from Oscar-nominated American screenwriter Ron Niswaner, who wrote the 1993 film Philadelphia, while Greg Berlanti, Philip Hurd, Cora Palfrey, Robbie Rogers, and Sarah Schechter serve as producers. Collider Video of the Day. Besides Styles, My Policeman also stars Ripper Street's David Dawson and Emma Corrin of The Crown fame, in the other lead roles. Ahead of the movie's release in October, check out everything we know so far about My Policeman. From the plot to the cast and characters, and the trailer, you can find all the details in the following guide. When is My Policeman's release date? My Policeman is an Amazon original movie, which is getting both a theatrical and digital release. The movie premieres for a limited release in theaters on October 21, 2022, followed by a streaming release on Amazon Prime Video on November 4, 2022. Watch the My Policeman trailer. Amazon Studios dropped the official trailer of the romantic drama movie on June 15, 2022. From what the trailer reveals, it looks like My Policeman will be an emotional roller coaster for the three leading protagonists. The clip opens with Tom and Patrick in the museum looking at a painting of a stormy ocean, and Tom is asked by the curator about his thoughts on the painting. What seems to be his response, also serves as a euphemism for love. The explanation that follows from Patrick is an analogy for their emotions for each other, of forbidden love, and he encourages Tom to allow himself to get swept in the waves of those emotions. The 1-minute clip moves back and forth in time and scenes highlighting the intense moments between Styles' Tom and Dawson's Patrick, and how Corrin's Marion fits into the men's relationship. All we can say from the trailer is that My Policeman is going to be a heartwarming and maybe a little heartbreaking story of three people in love in a difficult social landscape. Who is in My Policeman's cast? My Policeman stars Harry Styles, Emma Corrin, David Dawson, Gina McKee, Linus Roach, and Rupert Everett in major roles. The cast also includes Andrew Tiernan, Kadiff Kirwan, Jack Bandera, Maddie Rice, Dora Davis, Tristan Sturrock, and many more in various roles. Who are the confirmed characters in My Policeman? Check out which characters the cast members are playing in the upcoming romantic drama. Harry Styles as Tom Burgess. Tom is a gay policeman in Brighton who is in love with a museum curator. Linus Roach plays as older Tom, who probably appears in the latter part of the story. Emma Corrin as Marion Taylor. Marion is in love with Tom and eventually gets married to him, despite knowing he is gay and is in love with another man. Gina McKee plays an older version of Marion. David Dawson as Patrick Hazelwood. Patrick is the museum curator who is in love with Tom. They share a very strong relationship, which lasts for a long time, from what it seems. Rupert Everett plays an older version of Patrick. When is My Policeman filming? The principal photography for My Policeman started in April 2021 and filming was conducted in various locations across London, Brighton, and Hove. What is the background of My Policeman? As mentioned earlier, the upcoming period romantic drama is adapted from an eponymous novel. While the novel and the movie's plot are the same, the original novel is said to have been inspired by real-life characters and their life events. The real characters are novelist Tam Forster and policeman Robert Buckingham, as described in an article by The Guardian. Forster and Buckingham's characters are quite similar to that of Tom and Patrick. And like the novelist and his partner, Tom and Patrick also have a considerable age gap. Even Marion's character is inspired by Buckingham's wife, May, who took care of Forster in his later years. When is My Policeman set? The story of My Policeman is set in the 1950s and goes on for a few decades in the future, since there are also mentions of older versions of Tom, Patrick, and Marion. It is possible that the future timeline of the story is set in the 90s like it is in the original novel. What is My Policeman's story? My Policeman is set in the 1950s, at the peak of shifting social culture, history, and politics. Caught in the middle of the changing tides of time is a young policeman, Tom Burgess, who falls in love with the artistic-minded, museum curator, Patrick Hazelwood. Along comes Marion, a school teacher who falls in love with Tom. Considering the times they live in, Tom and Patrick's love seems impossible, so he gets married to Marion, but never stops loving Patrick. And thus begins a complex, turbulent journey of three young people as each of them power through social changes, emotional turmoil, and unfulfilled love. Even as the story progresses and time moves on, the yearning and regret they have lived with all their life, continue to envelop the three protagonists. There's no mystery or suspense in the story of My Policeman, but rather a long and exhausting journey of life that is to be discovered. Though we know what it is about, we are yet to find out how each of the characters lives through their social identities while dealing with their emotions and self-discoveries, and how this upheaval in their lives all finally come together. From what we understand, My Policeman is going to be a moving portrait of love, liberty, and forgiveness.